Hey, this is Russ. I was thinking, what's most important for you? Is it speed of an e-bike? Is it comfort? Is it design of the e-bike? What is it that's most important to you? Now, the reason this came up to me is I recently saw the video that Citizen Cycle did. He made a comparison of 3 e-bikes that he has, and he was looking at it to find out which one of these 3 was the fastest bike, okay? And how did it do going over a hill, all right? So it got me thinking. I'm thinking, is speed the most important thing to me? Or hill climbing ability, is that the most important thing to me? What's most important to me, all right? And then more importantly, I was thinking, what's most important to you, all right? Because, you get this video that he came out with, and he's comparing the thing, and I kind of feel speed is important to him, right? Because he's always tweaking his bikes, trying to get a little bit more speed out of the Citizen bike, he calls it. So is speed important to you? Now, let me talk about it for me, all right? I think when I first started watching his videos, I was watching his videos even before I bought my first e-bike. Yeah, I don't think he even had 1,000 subscribers at that point. So he was building his channel. And we've seen him grow and seen all the various bikes that he's gotten in. And there's different types of bikes that he gets, but many of them, it's a speed issue for him. I think speed is important for him, okay? But for me, is it important? I think when I first started with e-bikes, when I did even 15 miles an hour, I thought I was going too fast. But now, as you watch me riding, if I'm on the streets, it's easy for me to do 23, 24 miles an hour and not blink an eye on it. And if I'm riding on very fast speed limit streets, I'll do 28 miles per hour. I want to keep up with traffic as best I can, all right? But really, as we know, Class 3 is 28 miles per hour only if you're pedaling and helping the motor. It doesn't mean Class 3 allows you to use a throttle to get to 28 miles per hour. But many of my bikes that do 28 miles per hour will go 28 miles per hour on the throttle as well. So really, these bikes, are they true Class 3 bikes? And I'd have to say, no, they're not, right? But a lot of the bikes today kind of skirt this issue. It gives you the 28, but it allows you to throttle to 28 too. I don't know how they would limit that. I guess they could put it on the controller somehow so that when it hits 20, the automatic assist stops. But then if you keep pedaling, you can get the motor to help you to 28, but you can't use a throttle to help you to 28. You see what I'm saying? So is speed the most important thing for me today? And I would say, no, I don't think so. I do want my 28 miles per hour, but I'm not willing to go past that. All right. Not that if my bike had the ability, would I use it every now and then? I probably would, but I know that that's really kind of breaking the issue, breaking the law a little bit there. So I got to thinking about these bikes that have, this much speed, and, we're talking, I think he was measuring against his Citizen bike that he put together. It goes really fast. He had the Wicked bike that I think that could do probably 35, He had an aerial rider bike as well, and that goes pretty fast. So I kept thinking, what's the most important to you? Is speed most important to you? For me, I like to have the speed, but I don't think I would like to go past 28. Is the design of the bike important to you? Is the, whether it's a step over or a step through, is that most important to you? Or is it the looks of the bike? Is that most important to you? It has to look a certain way, or what is it? What's the one thing that you would say you have to have this feature on it, or you wouldn't consider that bike, or your ideal bike would have what one feature, right? I used to think it would be speed too, but as I'm getting older, I go, nah, speed is not the most important thing. Between speed and something like torque, I think I'd rather have torque. I want to be able to get up the hill, all right? I think that's probably more important to me than the speed. If the speed only did 20 miles per hour, but it had a really good hill climbing ability, I think I'd rather have the hill climbing ability. Now, here in the Chicago area, I don't have huge hills to go over. I think when we went to Wisconsin, okay, we did a couple rides to Wisconsin last year. Having that torque was nice, all right, because if you had enough torque, you can get over some of the larger inclines that they had that we don't have here, right? And I know that some parts of the country, you know, you have even bigger hills. The torque would probably be more important to me, right? Some people would say the cadence sensor versus the torque sensor, you know, or they'll say the hub motor versus the mid-drive motor. I mean, what one feature is most important to you, and why do you need to have that feature? Right? I mean, you would give up other features as long as it still had that one feature that you said it has to have. Now, people have asked me about the hill climbing things with the mid drives and the cadence, the hub motors, and they said if you had the mid drive, you can get over those hills better. And I don't have that many hills, right? And the mid drive also requires you to shift more, and you know how often I shift, like almost never. I usually leave my shifter at gear 6 and then just, you know, throttle up to that speed and then start pedaling from that point. Okay. But if you're a person that likes to shift, then of course you might want that mid-drive motor. And that mid-drive motor typically has a lot more torque. You can get over hills a lot easier with that thing. So what is the one thing that's most important to you? Put a comment in the comment below so we know what you think is most important. And we'll just kind of see what the typical rider who watches Russ's Ride feels is most important. Okay, I think that's a good question. So if you haven't ever commented before, do it this time. All right, just put a quick comment. What's most? And I mean, if you don't want to ride a lot, just put down the one thing. You know, if you feel mid-drive is most important, just say mid-drive, or something like that. If you're, you know, if it's too much effort to ride too much, just put something like that. Or speed. You know, speed is more important to me than anything else. Whatever it happens to be, put that down. All right. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to see what it is that the Russ's Ride viewers are most interested in. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.